So I have been trying to go through this radical infrastructure bill that amounts to nothing more than a new version of the Green New Deal meets social justice mandates. It's 2,700 pages long, if you can believe it, and I did the math here. It would take me 35 hours to read the entire bill with no breaks, okay? How is any senator or lawmaker going to do that? They're not. That's by design, because very little of what is in this bill is actually going to infrastructure. The mainstream media wants you to believe that 550 billion of it is going to actual infrastructure, which is still only about half of the $1.2 trillion bill. And still, even the 550 billion number is an embellishment.
$550 billion.
This $550 billion.
For $550 billion.
No, that number's wrong, okay? According to the highly respected conservative group Club for Growth, only about 10% of the spending, $110 billion, actually goes to real infrastructure like roads and bridges and other generally accepted projects reasonable people would call infrastructure. See, lawmakers aren't reasonable, and they may not actually look at this bill. In fact, I don't think they will, but I did. Some of it. I couldn't get through all of it, but I got through some. And you need to be outraged. It is a communist manifesto. You ready for the list? It will fund more processing centers to swiftly move hundreds of thousands of illegals into the United States. Out of $1 trillion, not one penny goes to border wall construction. It will define gender identity as a protected class of citizens. Now, how does gender identity have anything to do with infrastructure? It would suspend Buy American rules that mandate government agencies do all they can to procure American goods and services. Why would you do away with that unless you're anti-American? That's who's voting for this bill. It gives $1 billion to the Appalachian Region Commission, led by none other than Democrat Joe Manchin's wife. That alone amounts to a payoff, and yes, for a yes vote, clearly. $16.3 billion will go to the Department of Energy's Renewable Energy Program. Climate change garbage. $250 million for an invasive plant elimination program. That's infrastructure? No. Apparently, we know it's not. $10 million every year between 2022 and 2026 for a national motor vehicle per mile user fee. It's a pilot program, they say, but these pilot programs always get enacted into law. It amounts to a per mile tax on how much you drive. It will make it more expensive for you to travel in your car, as if skyrocketing gas prices, thanks to Joe Biden, wasn't good enough. It also goes against Biden's promise to not raise taxes for those who make less than $400,000 a year. If you're paying a per mile fee, I promise you even poor people will be paying that. On top of all that, you will hear senators talk a lot about the expansion of broadband. They speak of this proudly. But in order to get a federal grant to do just that in your community, cities and states will need to meet minority quota levels. Now, we're all Americans, aren't we? Shouldn't the money be based off of need, not race? But no one talks about that.
Neither side got everything we wanted. There are a bunch of things in this bill I don't like, I'd take out. There are things in this bill I know my Democrat friends don't like and would take out. But the nature of getting work done in Washington is to be able to come up with something that has enough good for both that we actually get it done.
That man represents more Democrats than he does Republicans. That's Mitt Romney of Utah. He's a RINO, a Republican in name only. What did Republicans get out of this bill? The answer is absolutely nothing. This is exactly why you need to be outraged. 9 Republicans helped write this bill. 9 more joined them and signed on to it. 18 Republicans in total willing to sell out America for what? This is in the United States Senate. To give Biden the upper hand. This bill is a power grab. It's a money grab, and it most certainly is a freedom grab. Every Republican should denounce it. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's shame the 18 spineless Republican senators that need to be denounced themselves. Here's a list of them. Write them down if you want. Roy Blunt of Missouri, Richard Burr of North Carolina, Shelley Moore Capito of West Virginia. This bill wages war on coal, by the way. It imposes strict carbon reductions. Why would anyone from West Virginia sign on to this bill that will destroy an already battered coal industry? But both senators from West Virginia will. Bill Cassidy of Louisiana is on the list. Mike Crapo of Idaho. James Risch of Idaho. Tom Tillis of North Carolina. This list goes on, folks, and I'll read it all. Indiana's Todd Young. Mike Rounds of South Dakota. John Hoeven. And Kevin Kramer of North Dakota. Now, I expected people like this to sign on to it. Alaska's Lisa Murkowski, Ohio's Rob Portman, and of course, Mitt Romney from Utah and Susan Collins of Maine. What do we dub them? The usual suspects, right? But Chuck Grassley of Iowa? Come on, Senator. And maybe the two most important senators to show their true colors as Senate amoebas, meaning they don't have spines. Senator Lindsey Graham and Senator Mitch McConnell. Those two, all of these I read, really, need to stand up against this massive expansion of government. 18 Republicans helping foster a communist agenda. What has happened to their will to fight for us? Don't forget, we put them in office. They don't respect that. How can they be behind such a bill? It is mystifying, folks.
But I believe our colleagues' draft text provides a good and important jumping-off point for what needs to be a robust and bipartisan process.
What an absolute disappointment. President Trump says it best. He don't like Mitch McConnell anymore. I never really liked the guy, ever, because I get this from Mitch McConnell. Bipartisan, he says? That's a hoax, folks. There's a $30 billion tax on cryptocurrencies. Why is the government getting involved in this? These big government ruling class of career politicians from both parties just cannot keep their grubby mitts off anything. And yet, the media will tell you, like McConnell, that it's bipartisan. The reality is there's nothing bipartisan about this. It's a Democrat wish list. The Republicans on board are acting like Democrats.
In hard infrastructure with input from a bipartisan group of senators.
This hard infrastructure bipartisan bill will get done.
Bipartisan infrastructure package.
For the bipartisan infrastructure bill.
Okay. What I mentioned to you, gender identity. It's not hard infrastructure. Doesn't even play hardly a role, hard infrastructure. And it certainly isn't bipartisan. What you just heard there is fake news pushed by the mainstream media and those devious senators and congressmen and women. A play on words, bipartisan, that's what it is. A play on words to make you think this radical bill is moderate. It is not. It is dangerous, and it must be stopped.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.